we cope at the pandemic? Well, paano nga ba? How did you able to manage the lockdown, quarantine, ECQ and GCQ and all? How did you survive not going out of your house for how many months? And also, how did you able to manage na hindi gumala na ilang araw? Na ilang, no, just araw. Months pa talaga ha. Well, as what we can see, ang daming nagbago during the pandemic era. We cannot just go out the way we used to before. Of course, there's a lot of rules that we have to obey. Ang daming rules na sinet during this pandemic era. Of course, it is for also our own safety. Wear your face mask, face shield, and also, hindi ka ng alcohol para safety, baby. And also, daming kailangan gawin. Daming mga requirements bago ka lumabas. Like FM Pass, QR code, and you can also use your ID if you're an employee. Kung madaming disadvantage during the quarantine, well, masasabi ko na ang daming advantage ito. Well, we ought to take times, diba? Ngayon, nabibigay na natin yun. Yung time natin sa pamilya natin, yung time na we ought to give sana before, but hindi natin yung magagawa kasi mas nauna yung gala, yung school and anything. Yan, ang dami ng time with your family. Pag-usap na kayo kasi diba noon busy din sa work kasi ganito ganyan. Pero ngayon, grabe talaga. Grabe yung times. Sana all na lang. Diba? Especially those who stay with their families during the lockdowns. Well, I'm happy that I may not be in my family, but I'm happy. Kasi I owe to be with my friend. Well, so we can see, daming tao, no? Ay, ang liit na pala. Well, liit na ng tao ng mall. Wala. So, this is the new normal. It's not like what we've seen before. Diba, ang daming tao sa mall? Ngayon, hindi na. Well, let's talk about how does really pandemic changes each person na. Well, let's talk about it after this video. And also, with regardings about the political self, the digital self, material self, and the physical self. Let's watch this.
Let's talk about the physical self, digital self, material self, and the political self. Let's watch this!
Material self.
Hello guys, so welcome to my vlog. So, ingali din na siya guys. In the midst of the quarantine, katong bago pa nag-start ang lockdown, nahilig ko mag-watch sa Shopee o mga Shopee Live. And
Sabihin mo lang, salamat Shopee!
gusto jud kaayo ko mag-buy o mga sweatshirt. Feeling ako kay happy kaayo ko sa ilaha. So, mauto nagtan ako sa isa ka seller dan daghan kaayo ko gipalit jud, like as in mga 10 plus. Then feeling ako naabot na 20 ang collection as of now. And happy man pud ko. Okay. Aside sa sweatshirts, ganahan po dahil ko og shoes, specifically mga sneakers, and gahapon sa 11/11 nag-buy ko og sa Adidas. Ang ganahan din ko magpalit og mga sneakers and sweatshirts kay feeling ako kay na sense of accomplishment to do after na ko siya, pag nana siya sa ako, like, sa akong posisyon. Yung health sa ako, ang kanya ko mga gipampalit sa shopping ng mga clothes kay kanang sa quarantine karon kay naalang ta sa far corners atong room, like bored jud kaayo ta, and maski lahi ra mang good like sa ni normal karon kay like daghan kayong space sa atong brain, like lahi ra kung normal day like dati nga wala pa ang pandemic, like mabisi kaayo ta, maglakaw-lakaw. Karon naalang ta diri sa kwarto, like so bored jud kaayo ta, then nakatabang siya sa ako. Feel better pag nakoy na-expect maabot after how many days. Then pag madawat ako siya, pag magtuktok na ang rider, kay mga happy jud ko. So, ang body, mo siya ginatawag na innermost part of material self, like naga-care jud ta kaayo sa atong body. So sa akong experience sa new normal is dati dili jud ko kaya nag-take of vitamins, like so murag okay lang sa ako magkasakit ingana, pero karon kay murag bawal na siya, like miski mag-ubo lang ka sa public places or magka-fever kay dili ka pa sudon sa mall. So importante jud karon nga alagaan nato tong body. So akong experience sa new normal kay nag-take na ko karon og vitamins, then exercise para maalagaan ang akong body. Like dili jud siya dapat pabayaan karon samot na kay pandemic, like kung hina ang imong immune system, like kung magpa-check up ka, then basig sure nga pangalagaan jud nato atong self, healthy ta, then pag gawas ta sa atong balay kay always wash our hands, then magdala jud og alcohol para dili ta ma-positive sa COVID. Also, of course, given na mag-mask ta and mag-face shield, of course. The things we possess is important because it becomes part of ourselves. It somehow shows what kind of person you are, especially how we react when faced with challenges such as COVID-19 pandemic that is really affecting our lives on the daily. So keep safe, guys.
Hello, J Marians. Hello, pandemic fighters. This is Darlin, the Material Self Vlogger. Shout out Material Self. So what is, according to William James, pertains to the objects, places, or even people which have the label mind. Such possessions are viewed as extensions of individuals' identity.
For instance, your clothes reflect certain aspects of your personality and you designate them as my wardrobe. Specifically, James identified the body as the innermost aspect of the material self. Also, you perceive certain body parts as most private or intimately yours as compared to the others. The next aspect is your clothing, the garments, which protect as well as project your body. This is followed by your family. They are connected to you by blood. You share their glory as well as your shame. Your home comes next. It is where many aspects of your life have been developed. It is where you feel most comfortable, and it is greatly linked to your identity. This is then followed by your other possessions, such as gadgets and
Material self doesn't always talk about places, things, and possession, but rather it talks about the person, the people you are with, and the memories that you shared with the places that you've been, and the things that makes you happy. Material self is natural self. It builds us who we are because it gives us chances and freedom to find what happiness really is. I hope you learn a lot from it.
digital self.
So hi everyone, by the way, my name is Jocelyn Canedo, and now I'm going to give a brief explanation about the digital aspect of the self. So what is the digital self? So it is the mask that we put on to engage the technological world. So it pertains to what and who we are inside the digital world. So the digital self is where our sense of mind and self is created and expressed through online interactions, since we are now engaging with social media like Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Skype, and such. So we use those social media platforms to share information about ourselves, to post an update, and to communicate. So all of this technology has come at us so fast and furiously that we haven't had the time to think about our relationship with it and how it shapes our identity. Because in the digital world, there are some people who maintain or possess one or more online identities that are different from the real world.
Hi, I am Christine Alhas, and my topic for today is about the digital aspect of the self new normal setup. As a student, studying online is very difficult due to an unstable internet connection we have in the Philippines. A negative part of it is when students are always facing their gadgets, their cell phones, and their computers all day, every day. This kind of activity can affect our eyes and also our own health as well. As I am experiencing this digital setup, I always felt like my eyes hurt or swollen sometimes. Nevertheless, digital setup also made me earn money for myself using social media. I tried online selling, which motivated me to do my best as a student. This can make me provide for my personal expenses, and also I can provide for my school tuition fee as well. Everyone is struggling today. Let us use what we have on positivity. All of us suffer because of this pandemic and natural calamities, but let us all use this as our resources to rise up again as a human and as a Filipino being.
Physical self.
Hey guys, so ayun na nga, quarantine pa rin tayo ngayon. How's your quarantine life going so far naman? Yes, I know that all of us had missed the life we had before this pandemic. We miss going outside because it's our life before the pandemic, right? We miss going out with our friends, hanging out with them, eating outside, watch cinemas, and also I know you guys miss face-to-face classes. But tonight I am here to discuss about the physical self. I know that this pandemic had brought all the negative things that we could ever imagine, that we never expected that would happen. But somehow, this pandemic has brought a positive thing in a way that we were able to do the things that we were not able to do before this pandemic. And in linked to our physical self, and I am talking about the human body, well, based on my experience during this quarantine, I was able to do fitness exercises. Sino ba sa inyo dito yung during quarantine is nag-exercise na? Well, I hope that some of you are, and that is one of the things that I was able to do during the quarantine. Because before the pandemic, alam natin na all of us are busy in school, and after we go home from school, we're tired already, and yet we still have so much schoolworks and projects, activities to do. So, di na talaga natin magagawa yung mga bagay na gusto natin gawin kasi we need to prepare for the next day of our classes na. So, isa rin sa mga nagawa ko during this quarantine kasi nasa bahay lang naman tayo, and of course we are asked to stay at home as much as possible, lalo na pag hindi naman masyadong importante yung mga bagay na gagawin natin sa labas, diba? Isa rin sa mga nagawa ko during this quarantine is yung ewan ko kung negative or positive ba to, pero alam ko relate lahat dito eh. Yung minsan na lang tayo naliligo kasi wala naman tayong ginagawa, nasa bahay lang naman, 'di ba? Para at least siguro para makasave din ng ng sabon, shampoo, yun, 'di ba? I know that I feel you guys. Means every other day lang din ako naliligo. Unlike before the pandemic, 'di ba? Every day kasi may klase tayo, and of course, kahit sa weekends, busy pa rin tayo kasi may mga practices or else kaya may mga lakad tayo. And another thing for that is I still do skincare, but not as expensive as you think. All I ever have is facial wash. Yun lang, facial wash, morning and at night. And of course, I hope that during this quarantine, all of you guys are doing well, especially when it comes to your health. That I hope you guys are conscious when it comes to your health. Na kahit nasa bahay lang tayo, we should also still control our diet, diba? Because some of us nasa bahay na lang, and then walang masyadong ginagawa, or if inuutusan, ayan, may ginagawa, pero pag wala, yun lang, phone, online classes, most of the time nasa screen tayo, and syempre minsan nagugutom tayo eh, kaya yung minsan or panay order na lang sa Food Panda, yung mga si Jollibee, sa McDo, yun, di ba? I hope na we still take good care of our health, especially during this pandemic. And one of the reasons kasi this pandemic is we were able to spend less, but I don't think so sa situation nyo kasi mukhang during this pandemic, during this quarantine, parang medyo mas magasta ata kaysa sa kaysa sa ordinary days, yung life natin before pandemic. And I do hope that most of us here still take good care of our body. That we should do proper exercise, proper diet, and yung iba sa inyo, goal nyo nga, na after ng pandemic or after ng COVID is, sana papayat na ako, sana tataba na ako, yun, yung mga ganyan na mga bagay. And you can achieve that. It's not hard to achieve that. As long as you are determined enough, well, as long as you're determined enough for that thing, it will not be possible for you. It will not be impossible for you to achieve that. And as I end this vlog, I hope that you guys will like, share, and subscribe our video. Please, we really need your help. And I hope you guys would find the things you were able, and I hope you guys were able to develop and enhance your skills during this pandemic. And don't forget to take good care of your body, right? Take good care of your physical self. That you should also give importance to your body. And yun lang. I hope every one of you will stay safe, and thank you for watching.
Physical self.
Hi guys! For today's vlog, I will be sharing to you the different experiences during this time of pandemic. So during this time, nagiging conscious na tayo sa katawan natin. Like a physical body, our appearance, and also sa mga face natin, di ba? Maraming nag-glow. And during this time also, nagiging health conscious na yung mga tao. Kasi, kailangan natin yun sa katawan natin sa panahon ngayon dahil sa pandemic or sa sakit na kumakalat ngayon. During this time also, marami na rin yung nag-workout and nag-glow. Sana all nag-glow na. And During this time also, dito natin na-realize na marami tayong talento. Dito natin nalaman yung mga bagay na hindi pa natin nagagawa dati. This pandemic also it has a positive and a negative side. So this time, the positive side is we have a family bonding, right? Yung mga dating tao na hindi natin nakakamusta is nakakamusta na natin. Kumusta kayo dyan? Okay lang kami dito. Anong ginagawa nyo? Kumusta si ganito? Kumusta si ganyan? Yung mga magkaaway dati, dito rin lumabas na nakita mo kung ano talaga sila kasi nagtutulungan na. This time also is din ko na-realize na marami akong sa sarili ko na side is marami akong hindi nalaman sa sarili ko na sa pandemic ko lang nakita. And also, our bonding also is mas lumaki and mas nakilala ko kung ano talaga yung sarili ko. And the positive side, the negative side also is though this virus is nakakamatay, marami siyang tao na nakuha, nakutil ng buhay, pero the negative side of this is yung hindi na tayo nakakalabas ng basta-basta. We cannot go outside like kagaya ng dati na makakapunta tayo kahit saan. Pag may problema tayo, pwede tayong pumunta sa lugar na yan. Like, gusto natin maging, naghahanap tayo ng stress reliever. Like, pupunta tayo ng beach, going outside, kahit saan yung magpunta, okay lang. And, we cannot go out with our friends na, like, nang kagayang dati na nakakalabas tayo ng kahit saan. Like, after class is, kung stress tayo or marami tayong ginagawa, pupunta tayo sa isang lugar na pwede tayong doon natin yung banding, doon tayo makakapaglabas ng sama ng loob, something like that. And we miss our going to Ross Night Market, diba? Mostly doon tayo kumakain kasi mas mura, diba doon? Doon yun kasi, nandun yun lahat eh. Yung mga klase-klaseng Pinoy ng pagkain nandun. And if gusto mong church gathering, right? Yung mga youth gathering, yung mga ganun, yung youth camping, we miss our school, right? Yung school natin, like how we bonding with each other with our classmates, diba? So, first day is di tayong kakilala, pero as times goes by, nakikilala mo yung classmates mo, dun yung nabubuo yung mga banding, diba? Iba kasi ngayon, kasi nasa online class lang tayo, mahirap makapag-usap sa mga klase natin kasi hindi natin alam kung interesado ba sila sa atin o hindi. Like something like that. And this pandemic also makes us realize na we need to pray. We need to pray because God will answer our prayer. And God will always provide us and guide us always. So, this pandemic also is makakabangon din tayo. Maraming mga pagsubok na dumating sa buhay, maraming mang nawala, maraming mang during sa bagyo, yung sa Isabela and Cagayan, marami ding nawala na buhay. Pero dadating din yung panahon na makakabangon tayong lahat. Filipinos are strong, 'di ba? Alam natin 'yun. And also I salute all the frontliners out there. Malaki yung respeto ko sa kanila. So guys, just stay at home. Always wear your mask every time you go outside. Follow the protocols na 2 meters distancing, right? And keep safe always, guys. And darating din yun ng panahon na makakabalik tayo kung ano man yung dating gusto natin mangyari. Tayong lahat, gusto natin matapos na to kasi gusto na natin lumabas, like kung ano yung mga dating ginagawa natin. I really miss going outside. Not just me, tayong lahat, di ba? So guys, keep safe and God bless everyone. Thank you.
Guess what? So today, we'll be discussing about the political self and regarding about the new normal setup. So now, let us define politics. So according to Kendall 1998, politics is a social institution in which power is acquired and exercised by people in any groups. And also, politics was also made before in order to lessen out the chaos in a country, in a society, or a community. Now, let's get to political self. According to Maria Serena Jokno, political self is acquired through socialization. Political self does not just roam around yours. It also deals with the suggestions, the comments, and the opinions of people. Let us now discuss the 5 origins of the political self. Number 1 would be the family, next is school, church, peers, and lastly, that would be mass media. So for the first one, which is the family. So as we know, family is the basic unit of a society. So how can someone practice political self in a family? As we all know, being a part of a family member, we have our positions, our roles, and also we know which authority we have. Just for like an example, like being a father, mother, or the eldest daughter or brother or the youngest sibling. So, by this, you are exercising your authority in a family. You know which position you are in and you know what to do and you know your responsibilities. So in this political self, you are practicing right now on how to build up your authority. Just not by being in a family, but also would be essential when you will grow up and then meet new other people. So that is why the family is considered to be the basic unit of a society. And by this, by being at home, you are already knowing and practicing your political self. Next one would be school. So school is a very essential factor to us students until we grow up and we find our own path. So what does the school do in improving someone's political self? So actually, political self in school, the school teaches you a lot of things, and not just by teaching things. They're also essential for instilling nationalism within you, and by being patriotic, you will know that you are a Filipino, and that pertains to political self. Since, according to Maria Serena Jokno, citizenship is also a part of political self. So by being Filipino and by instilling nationalism, you are also practicing your political self. You are following such protocols, you're following such laws, which the school is teaching you to be a very responsible citizen of the Philippines. So now we will be discussing about the church. So how is church related to political self? So the church teaches us good morals and right conduct, which is very essential to our growth of our political self. Just like for an example, in the church it teaches you to not kill, and also in the law it also explains that you should not kill. And that is how important the church in the political self, as it teaches you to not be ignorant, it teaches you what is right or wrong, it helps you discern what is the right thing or wrong to do. So it really helps you in your decision making and in your lives whenever you plan out something. So next is peers. So as we all know, I think we have our peers, and by having peers, you are exercising your authority, and that is part of the political self. And by being a group, there can be a leader, there can be a member, or any one of them can be a leader at any time as long according to their discussion. And by that, you are also exercising your authorities and giving aside your authorities to someone if it's needed. And that is how political self is done in being with the peers. Now, for the last one,
which is the mass media. So mass media is very rampant nowadays, especially that we are just in our homes. So how does the mass media teach you about the political self, and how is it so important to you? So mass media is very important to us Filipinos, just like in helping you or making you decide on which leader or whose leader are you going to vote and choose. It also deals with your discernment on which right is wrong. It also teaches you like where is a hoax source of information. So yeah, mass media is also the key source to information. Without mass media, we won't be having any news from around the world. We won't be knowing about the current situation that has been happening in the country or even around the world. And that is how important is the mass media to the political self. And that is not to be ignorant about everything. It teaches you even more and gives your mind like a sense of knowledge, and not just by being empty all the time. So I think I have given a brief description about the political self and its origin, which is the 5 factors, which is the school, the family, the church, and the peers, the mass media. So now I will refer you to my partner who will be explaining the political self in the new normal. So for the question, how can we such develop political self with the new normal? As we all know that everything has been changed. There are lots of normal things that have been changed, and accept that it is the reality right now. So I will refer you to Eddie de la Peña, who will be explaining his experiences with his political self despite the new normal setup.
So, ang experience ko naman ngayon sa new normal setup with my family, ngayon mas marami kaming oras sa isa't isa na kapag-usap at katanong-tanong sa mga bagay-bagay. At sa bahay natin, meron tayong mga batas or nasusunod. Minsan, yung tatay. Dito sa bahay namin, yung lolo ko. At nakakatulong siya sa political self ko. So, ang experience ko sa new normal setup sa school, alam naman natin ngayon na online class lang, pero natuturo pa rin ng mga guro ang dapat nilang ituro sa atin, mga estudyante. At nadadagdagan din ang knowledge ko sa political self by promoting nationalism. So ngayon, ang experience ko naman sa church, alam naman natin ngayon na di na katulad dati na marami ang nakakapunta dahil sa new normal setup. So kahit ganon, naituturo pa rin nila ang mga good moral. At yun ay nakakatulong sa political self ko. So, sa mass media, syempre, diyan tayo ngayon kumukuha ng information or balita, naririnig at nakikita natin sa TV or di kaya sa social media. At nakakatulong siya sa political self ko dahil marami akong nakukuha information, di lang dito sa lugar namin, kundi sa iba't ibang lugar pa. So, ang experience ko naman sa peers ay yung time na naglalaro kami ng mga kaibigan ko ng ML. Dahil alam naman natin ngayon sa new normal setup, di na katulad ng dati. So, sa online games na lang talaga kami nagbabanding. At habang naglalaro kami, syempre, isa lang ang goal namin, ang manalo. Minsan may magtatayo bilang isang leader, minsan naman wala. Pero mas maganda talaga yung merong leader dahil maganda ang kinalabasan